Okay, I'm Peggy and I'm going to do a demonstration of a few recipes. Two of them are from the Weimar Institute Cafeteria Cookbook. And I'm going to start with the mock tuna. And I've already mashed the garbanzos. The recipe calls starting with 15-ounce can of garbanzo beans. You mash them up by hand, get them, I've done most of that already. Just want to make them nice and mashed, but not completely pureed, so we don't want to put them in a food processor for that. So that's done. Put them in the bowl. And we're going to chop up 1/3 cup of celery to start with, which is just dicing just really small bits of celery. And that will go into the garbanzos. A 1/3 cup of celery, diced. About the right amount there.
Can you look towards the camera and every time you do something you can see what you're doing?
Okay, so there's a 1/3 cup of celery going into the garbanzos mixture. And
how did you make the garbanzo beans? How did you do that?
Can of garbanzos.
Yes.
I put them in a bowl and I smushed them with the fork.
And if a person wanted to have fresh garbanzo beans, what would they do?
They'd have to cook their own garbanzos according to package directions on a package of garbanzos that are dried.
But this is okay?
This is the way the recipe calls for.
And this is going to be what?
It's going to be mock tuna.
Okay. And so far you
for a sandwich spread.
Okay, so far you have the garbanzo beans and the 1 cup or how much of the...
1/3 cup of celery diced.
Okay.
Small dicing. And I'm next going to put 2 tablespoons of finely chopped minced onion. So I'm going to take a little bit of onion here and I'm going to cut it up real small.
Can people use their food processors or is not recommended?
You're not having a large enough quantity on this amount of onion. It's just 2 tablespoons, so using the food processor for that would be kind of not necessary. So I'm going to need a little more than that. I'll chop up a little more.
Every time you do something, you explain what you're doing, okay? You put a new ingredient, you put it in.
I am chopping up the onion, and that's about another tablespoon. So we're having 2 tablespoons of minced, well, finely chopped onion. And we're going to use also 2 tablespoons of diced green onions. So I've got these nice fresh green onions here. I'm going to chop that up, and then we have 2 tablespoons of that as well. Actually, this one looks better. I've already washed and pared them.
So you're saying these things are for a small amount of...
It's one recipe of mock tuna spread.
Okay.
And it's not, if you're making a large recipe, you know, doubling it or tripling it, you might want to use your food processor.
And how long does it last?
It depends on how fast you want to eat it.
We're an average guy.
this made, last week it made about 6 sandwiches, this recipe.
Well, that's more than enough.
Yeah. And so I've got about 2 tablespoons of diced green onions in there now. And these are what give it lots of flavor. Now, mayonnaise, it calls for a mayonnaise of choice, and I choose Vegenaise because it's the vegan.
Where'd you get that one at?
I get this at, I can get it at Whole Foods, I can get it at my local Nob Hill market. Most markets that carry health food stores nowadays carry it, but that's where I usually get it. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of this in my salad spread. And it's not an awful lot. If you're wanting to cut fat, you can choose a different mayonnaise, maybe that has less fat in it, but this is the one I use.
What size container is that?
The mayonnaise,
That container you got in your hand?
1/4 cup.
That's 1/4 cup?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a pretty big 1/4 cup.
Mm-hmm. 1/4 cup of mayo. Okay, and the last ingredient, let's see, not the very last, is the Bragg's Aminos. Is a flavoring that's one of my favorites, and I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of Bragg's Aminos in this salad. It's one of the flavorings. It kind of like soy sauce. It gives it a nice flavor, nice savory flavor. And the last but not the least is the nutritional yeast flakes. And here they are. Nutritional yeast flakes. You can buy them in any health food store. You can buy them in a bulk form, or you can buy them in a jar like this.
Where'd you get that at?
This jar I've had a long time. I just refill it with the bulk when I get it in bulk at the health food store. And I'm going to put 1/2 tablespoon, 1/2 tablespoon in here.
Traditional yeast, right?
Nutritional.
Nutritional.
Nutritional yeast. And now you get to mix it all up. And there's no salt in here because the Bragg's Aminos does have some salt, some sodium in it, so you don't really need salt. And if you wanted to put more seasonings in, more or less of something, that's an optional thing if you wanted to do that. But there it is. It makes a nice, pretty sandwich spread. And it's healthy, and it's vegan, and it's not going to...
So that's ready to eat now?
It's ready to eat now. Ready
What kind of bread do you use on that?
If you can use any kind of bread you want. You can use pita bread, you can use sourdough bread, you can use whole wheat bread. It's nice with it toasted.
What happened to that pita bread we bought?
It's in the refrigerator. No, it's in the bag. Sorry.
And where's the bag?
Back there, behind you. So there it is.
Okay, so we set that aside, or what do you do?
And we can set it aside. We can put it in the fridge so it stays nice and fresh.
Well, it'll be okay like that right now, won't it?
For now, it's okay, just as it is.
Okay.
And that's how it looks when it's all
That
done.
is tuna, what do you call it?
Mock tuna
Mock tuna.
sandwich spread.
Okay.
Okay? So that's the first recipe.